we got ourselves a legend today, baby. One of the California legends.
And then, you know how when you go to the premiere and you see it, and then you walk out and you go, you knew something was happening.
We need
And
to
it
hire
was,
some more people.
Yeah, we had everything from gang fights to you name it to go with it. Harassment suits, you name it, everything to go with that many people.
And you just wanted to make wings.
Now you do one side, let's say you do the F-150, and faster than you can snap your fingers, the computer's already mirrored it to the other side. And you're just like, oh my gosh, all those years, it's 2 years later, they came up with the Lobo. So he saw it, it's like anything else. You got to hire up, and sometimes that direction is not exactly what's out there. And plus, he's more on the ground listening to people than some of those guys up in their big offices.
Welcome to the Ride in Style podcast, your turbocharged pit stop for automotive restyling. Buckle up with Jesse and Josh.
Welcome to another episode of the Ride in Style podcast. Our guest today is Billy Longfellow of Airdesign USA. Hi, Billy. Thanks for being here today.
Oh, thanks. Hi, guys. Long time no see.
We got ourselves a legend today, baby. One of the California legends. So as we dig into this, man, there's a lot of history here.
Oceanside, California, established 1991, I think it's what it says on your website. Is that correct?
Yeah, Airdesign 1991, Oceanside 2015.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, Billy, when did you actually get in the business, in the car restyling, and take us back to the old days, the Wings West, the APC, everything?
Yeah, so it was like I was in the business selling accessories.
Yeah.
And I started a company called Wings West, and that's when Ernie Bennell came on, and then Mike Matthew, he was M&M Tooling. So we were all competitors. So we decided, why don't we just get together and form a company?
Yeah.
And then it went from, we started out, and next thing you know, we had a couple hundred employees.
Yeah.
It was a big wave, and we rode it.
Thinking back to the Wings West days, just for a moment. Now, for those that don't remember what Wings West is, maybe younger generation don't, but just imagine when Fast and Furious first came out, and Billy had all the stuff to put on your Honda Civic, base Civic, or your what was your hot SKUs back then? What was your hot car?
It was funny because actually it was Civic, because one of my competitors that was about 5 miles down the street was Mike Spagnola.
Yeah, okay.
And it was funny. He goes, we did get together, and he goes, well, you guys are doing all the Hondas, so I guess I have to start doing trucks. And that's how he wrote his fame in the trucks, and we wrote our business in the Hondas and the compact cars.
Yeah. Oh, man, a lot of fun stuff. How much did that movie help?
Well, what was funny is the Jetta was one of our project cars. And then we had body kits on the Integra. When it was all filming, and Robert Wilson was doing all the graphics, we didn't even think the movie was going to go anyplace. And then, you know how when you go to the premiere and you see it, and then you walk out and you go, you knew something was happening.
We need to hire some more people.
Yeah. And that was our claim to fame, because after that, Jack Nasser came out when he was president of Ford, when he owned Land Rover and all those. He came out and spent an hour with us, and then he wanted us to do some focuses, and then they did a big article on Wings West in Fortune magazine, and it just kept on going.
Yeah.
At one time, I think Ernie and I we would go from, we started out SEMA, and then in December, we go to the Essen Auto Show to support our distributor. And then we go to Taiwan Auto Show, and then we would go to the Birmingham Auto Show. Next thing, SEMA again. And we did that in between, we did the Tokyo too. Wow. So we were doing that for 6 or 7 years in a row, and it was just. But when they keep saying be in the right place, right time.
Wings West, though, how do you even get into the Wings West? And
it was funny. I was making spoilers and everything, and I was thinking, like, shit, I make spoilers, and I live on the West Coast, so let's call it Wings West. Looking back, I should have trademarked also West Wings, because the TV series.
That's awesome. So you just started making it yourself, and then you got into ground effects, and you got into the whole thing, and then you guys merged? All of you guys merged?
What we did is about, 2000 or 99, 2000, we sold to a company called Pack Holding. And Pack Holding was Go Rhino, Pace Edwards, Fibernetics. And then that lasted for, I don't know. And then 2005, Ernie and I started 3D Carbon.
Yeah.
And then in 2010, I had met the two partners from Airdesign Mexico years before the family, and they wanted to come to the United States. So the two brothers and myself are partners of Airdesign USA. I have nothing to do with Airdesign Mexico or the plant. So it was talk about being in the right place, right time, and being organic. When the market grew, we were there, and we were in the position to capitalize on everything. Because when we first started out, we were fiberglass, and then when we couldn't handle the production, we had to go to urethane, and then from urethane, got whole life blow molding for spoilers. So it was very interesting. And then we got to, I think when we sold, we had 100 employees. It was just like, we had everything from gang fights to you name it to go with harassment, you name it, everything to go with that many people.
And you just wanted to make wings.
Yeah, that's what it started. But we had a good time because, man, we were close. Like guys like Foos would come by all the time. He'd come by 2-3 times a week. Santini was close. Oh God, Tom Taylor was close. Who else was it? All those guys. Spagnuolo was close. We would get together. Even we're competitors, we still get together for beer. And now look at him. He's CEO of SEMA.
Wow.
So we all kind of grew up at the same time. I guess if you grow up and you got your act together, hopefully you go up the chain, you're still around. So
that's the thing. A lot of guys you grew up with or were in the business at that time, maybe you didn't know they're not around anymore. So
yeah,
kudos to you for being around.
Yeah, and one thing I can tell you, your whole life is integrity. If you don't have integrity, you have nothing. So it just shows you if you take care of people and help, you get rewarded.
So it sounds like you've been involved with multiple businesses over the time. There's like a different era, there's a different movement each one, right? I'd be curious to hear like the highlights of each part, and then also where you're at now. What do you guys do now? What changes have you seen? So how's it changed from the beginning all the way to where you're at today?
When we sold Wings West in like 2000, that was kind of like what I call a rice rocket. It basically fell apart overnight. By that time, since we had our connections with Ford, all the VPs were coming to see us, and so Jack Naxer came out and saw us, and that's how we got connected with a company called Ford Components. It was a LLC of Ford. We started doing, I think the first car we did was a 2005 Fusion. We started building license for Ford accessory parts. And then over the years, we've ridden that all. And then during SEMA, I think, God, we probably built, 25 years of SEMA cars for Ford, GM. And then that morphed into Airdesign, because each time it moved on, like 3D Carbon ran its course. We were trying to do carbon fiber and never really made any money on it. And we were doing urethane too. Airdesign has got a giant facility down in Cuernavaca with probably 350 employees. They're all vertically integrated. So we just took that technology and then morphed it back and bring it to the United States, to the mass merchandisers. So it's been a big journey, but it's been very challenging because as the society changes or the car parts change, the technology changes, you got to buy more equipment. Now we have Kuka robots, the same one like Tesla has. They can vacuum form, they trim out the flares. We've had to spend a lot of money in technology and software, but that's what keeps our edge. That's right. What I used to do, when I started, I did everything by hand. Now I would do everything on the computer, and it still amazes me. When you started out by hand at Wings West, you'd have to do one side, then go back and do the other side. Now you do one side. Let's say you're doing the F-150, and faster you can snap your fingers, the computer's already mirrored it to the other side. And you're just like, oh my gosh, all those years, but that's like anything. And now you got AI coming into the fold.
Yeah. Just touching on that for a minute, because listen, everybody had some struggles or stuff like that, but not fiberglass wasn't always perfect. Urethane wasn't always perfect. It was hard to paint sometimes. You get fisheye. But now I look at what you guys are doing now with Airdesign. I see the quality, and I see just how has technology just got so much better over the last 30, 40 years that has made the product easier to make. Is it easier to make, or am I just off?
No, it's easier. Once you have the equipment, it's a lot easier. Like in the fiberglass, everybody could just get some fiberglass in the garage and splash something and be in the business. And then went to urethane. Then it became, you had to buy a machine. And then everybody was using what they call, it was black and it was a low pressure. And the low pressure basically had just pitfalls in it. So we're using like high pressure. Like when we started seeing 3D carbon, it was, I think our Craftsman 5 machine was then, it was $250,000 as our machine was $25,000 at Wings West, but it was high pressure. But then you have to have presses and everything to the next level. So down in Airdesign, down in Cuernavaca, I mean, it's just, everything's presses. It's vertically integrated. There's no paper. So everybody's got a little iPad on the machines. So it's just all web-based. It's just Carlos that runs it. He got tired of it being on cell phones. So he just put everything on web-based, and everything's got a little little iPad. So everything's automated now. It's just, and then like our assembly line for painting, we can paint like 2,000 parts. We did one of the programs we did for Ford was the California Special. We designed and paint those and shipped them to the Flat Rock, Michigan plant, and then they were installed there. We do a lot of that stuff for the OEs. We do like for Honda, Subaru, we make parts. Volkswagen, like base camps, we do those for. So it's kept us really busy over the years. We've moved into more of with our equipment into, I would say, limited edition runs. Like Ford right now, obviously we do a lot of stuff for that Ford Custom Garage. We did like Dino's, that whole package. Now with the 300Ts coming out, now there's a Mustang package coming out. So it just seems when I travel around to the fads, that is a good program for the Ford dealers, because not very many of them have like you, Josh, or Dino, that they can install them.
Yeah.
So when they ship through from Penske, it opens the door for a lot of these dealers that don't have a good service department or their own standalone mod center.
Yeah.
And I see it growing a lot more because it takes a lot of those things away from the unknowns.
Where do you see things going the next 5 years, let's say?
I can see on Ford's side now that we are dealing with what they call Ford Components has moved over to the Ford side for Ford customization.
Yeah.
And I can see the custom garage getting a lot bigger, because the problem with Ford, the joke was, or Ford Performance was, you could never get them out. But now they've seemed to really understand that, and they're reaching out to the right vendors, and these programs, they really work for the dealers. Because now there's only what they call 5 or 6 fads. I spend a lot of time out there traveling around talking to these guys. They all seem to like it, because at the end of the day, as Josh, the dealers don't really make any money. It's either service or accessories.
Yeah.
So when you can help them, and you notice how much these dealers now are putting on new accessory walls, redoing their showrooms and everything. So that's what I see the thing. And also too, if you don't have accessories at the dealership to show people, if you can't see them, you can't buy them.
Yeah.
Billy, I'm curious. Oh, go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, Jesse, they were the one that Black Label that won the Pro Cup Challenge. Shout out to Dino and his crew and Billy and his team. They're the one that really designed a lot of those parts. Really made that thing look so good. Of course, Dino added his little touch to it, and then Ford threw a supercharger in it after it got back to the Now it had to look fast, but now they had to make it fast too.
Yeah, that was an incredible vehicle by the end there. Pretty cool.
Yeah, plus all those 25 years building those SEMA cars, you're working with all the Ford designers. Obviously, Gilmore was at the last, and then Melvin was before that. Then Larry was there too. So you get to know these guys personally. So, they help you with what they think the trend's going to. So it's kind of a collaboration.
Yeah.
You get the right minded people in the industry. It's the same thing as God. I would say before Chip was Chip, he used to come by 2-3 times a week. He was just looking at everything and trying to doodling on everything. And then another big thing, we did a couple overhaulings with him. We did a 2005 Mustang, the wide body one. And that put us on the map too. So it's just getting connected with all these people, just talking to you guys. You get out there and you listen to everybody in the right place, right time, and things just click.
Billy, I'm curious if you could share maybe one of your biggest challenges in your career and how you overcame it. People love to hear, because we know it's not all easy.
Oh, no. People that know me, I'm very motivated. I don't give up. So it's kind of, sometimes everybody's going right, I go left. Sometimes you've got to start a new trend. And that's kind of what we did at Wings West, because we spent a lot of time doing all those import nights. and then go to the Tokyo Auto Launch Show. So you saw the need, because it seems like when we first started, everybody wanted the Japanese look. And then when we talked to Japan, they wanted the American look. So we brought all that stuff here. And so over the years, it's just kind of, if your ears are open to, like you're talking about, what the customers want, and then you just got to find a way to make them and give them what they want. Because at the end of the day, it's like everybody wants, we all start over. You could have a great month, but next month you're starting over again. So you've got to listen to or find some type of product that sells good and what everybody likes. And now that we have all the equipment, we can make anything. So that's not a problem. It's just getting the right looking designs and get it to the mass market.
Do you think, because you guys have really made the jump over the years, you were all cars. And now you're doing you did a lot of trucks for a while. Been doing a lot of trucks, even with Airdesign and everything. What about the SUV, CUV market? Are those slow movers, or do you see traction picking up on that?
I'd say the traction's picking up because of the Explorer ST.
Okay.
Yeah, they're starting to put stuff on that makes it look what the people want.
Yeah.
And plus, you've got a lot of stuff out there too. Now you've got the Land Rover's got some nice looking SUVs. That'll probably be the next trend after trucks. So it kind of just goes around in circles. It's just try to cover all the markets. And if you walk, when you go to the dealers and you talk to them, you can kind of see where the trend's going.
Yeah. When I first saw you're one of the guys that came to my mind when I first saw what Amazon's doing with this Slate vehicle. Because I think about that Slate, it's just going to be one color, regular cab, pick up here, you buy this, and then do it up. Because really, that's what we did for back in the day. And even now, you take these things and you just dress them up. Do you see that as more of a trend where Ford's going to stop making so many trim levels, and GM and these guys are going to stop making so many packages and then rely on guys like yourself and guys like myself to do more of a limited roll out of a certain
I remember when we did the Mavericks, one of the nice things to work with Ford, God, I had probably a date. I could have milled that thing a year before it came out. And I kept looking at it and I'm thinking, man, this is like Wings West days. They don't even know what they have. It was a home run before they knew it.
The Maverick,
and,
yeah. Oh,
yeah. And even that I wanted to do the Lobo look for SEMA.
Yeah.
But they wanted, or the designers wanted more of an off-road. And I can even remember even some of the Ford dealers, the Ford designers I was working with. It basically took marketing 2 years to come up with a Lobo. And now look at everybody out there's loaning them, everything. Like we just did that 300T in SEMA. So that's what I'm talking about is the platform's everything. Like you said, the Slate. And if they put nothing on it, then for people like us, it's going to be a home run. Because at the end of the day, people want to accessorize their car. And another thing is it's hard to the manufacturers. It's like, if they don't have it at the dealer, the customer's going to buy the car and drive down to see you guys and you put it on. So you've got to be open to everything.
Yeah.
What excites you the most about the future of your business, or maybe just the industry in general? What are you looking forward to the most?
That's a good thing. It seems like SEMA lost a little bit with Ford and all the guys, because I was there for 20 some years building those vehicles, GM and everything. They left, and now it just seems like there's a void now, and SEMA has to adapt too. They've got to get the younger generation in there and start over again. So it's like anything else. I think we're in a cycle where it's kind of flat right now. There'll be something new to come along, and it'll go up the next. Yeah, the Maverick was a big one for Ford, because that gave a whole new market. They didn't realize what they had.
It's funny how you said, hey, let's lower this thing. And they're like, no, we need to lift it. But that's the great thing. You can go either way with that thing. But now we do a lot of fleet stuff. And oh my gosh, there's so many Mavericks. Probably got 50 Mavericks out here ready to do something to, just because they didn't realize what they had. I don't know. Somebody did. They said, we need to figure this out, but they didn't.
We were doing all the little rice rockets for Wings West, and Honda had no idea, gold mine they had in that little Civic.
No.
And we would go to all these meetings, and then because in those days, those cars were like anything under 300 on the VIN number, they'd crush. So a couple of us, or they just put them in the museum because they couldn't crush them. These things are just too fixed up.
Wow.
So But I think you're right. The Slate's gonna be a good one. And like right now, like Ford's in a lull for like new vehicles. So I think there'll be a lot of those coming out in the next couple of years. Because that's obviously the F-150 got pushed back. So a lot of it's got pushed back because of COVID and planning things or trying to get everything right. So I think there's going to be a lot of them. And then they're going to have some kind of a little electric vehicle that's going to be smaller than, or like Maverick or smaller. So that should open up some stuff, a lot of doors.
Yeah.
Billy, you mentioned
what's the focus and direction of Airdesign?
Airdesign.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
I think just keep, because we have a big base, like we do like stuff for, we do some projects for like OE for Honda, Subaru, Volkswagen. We do a lot of stuff for Kia. So I think in Ford too, and GM. The big thing is for us is just to keep working on all those things and just come up with new accessories for the vehicles out there. Just like you said about the SUVs. That's going to be I think, especially I know that from the dealers I talked to, they're really excited about the packages that are coming on the new Explorer ST models.
Yeah. I think we got Gilmore coming up on a podcast in the future. Is there anything you want us to harass him about?
He was very instrumental for Dino's build.
Yeah.
He's one of the members too. and he's been very happy, and also he's my lead designer when I deal with Ford customization. Yeah. And then got all those years at SEMA. Yeah. It's kind of love-hate with him. It's just he gets some ideas. And even he, like when Ford wanted to raise the Maverick, he was pushing to lower it. And look at what happened. It's 2 years later, they came up with the Lobo. So he saw it. It's like anything else. You got to hire up, and sometimes that direction is not exactly what's out there. And plus, he's more on the ground listening to people than some of those guys up in their big offices.
Yeah.
Billy, earlier you mentioned getting younger people involved in the industry. What advice would you give somebody that's just starting out or maybe younger looking at this aftermarket space?
Like one of the guys, like when SEMA hired RJ for marketing, he was in the first Fast and Furious. When I first met him, I think he was an influencer from McGuire's. He was probably 16 or 17. I'd see him at all the little events. I had this one little Vietnamese guy I hired. I see him at all the car shows, hot dip nights. And he was college educated, very smart. And I told her, and I go, we can't let this guy go. We got to hire him. He's got too much credential. So I would say the guys or girls that show up to these events, or if you like it, just go online, try to find all the events. And now that SEMA is open on Friday, go look and start talking to the vendors.
Yeah, especially
great opportunity now. Plus, here's a really good example. When I was in Florida for a week traveling with a FAD, so there was 5 of them. One girl and one guy were probably late 20s. Plus, the one girl was blonde, good looking, so it was very easier to get in the dealerships. But I said something to her. I go, "You guys are the only ones that sent me your itineraries back." And she goes, "Yeah, because we're the young guys. We're computer literate. That's all we do. We live on those." And then I watched them when I went out with them. The other guys had paper. She had everything on her computer. She could find every answer. Yeah, it just, once that generation that's everything on their mobile app, is a laptop or their phone, when they can go to a dealership and find out on the spot for the general manager or the sales manager, it's just a big plus. I know, but the older guys like me, they got the network where they talk to everybody. That's important too, but you need both ends. So that's what I'd say. Once you become very computer literate, move into this industry, and then just start networking. Network is the whole thing. That's what I did.
You've done a phenomenal job of that. Phenomenal.
Yeah, you remember Sherry Colleen from Ford? Yeah, and she said, she was talking, she had all these, when they built that girls Bronco, and she was all talking. I came by just to say hi, and she goes, "Yeah, see, this guy right here, he's a master at networking. You got to just do what he did. Just talk to everybody." And that's all I can say is just talk to everybody and get to know everybody.
Yeah. Before Jesse asks his last question, I want to know, somewhere in your office, do you happen to have a Wings West catalog from back in the day?
No.
Oh, Billy, those are probably worth money.
There you go. I got a
Wings West catalog. Oh,
yeah.
there we go.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Good enough. Good enough.
Yeah.
Wing, remember those catalog? Man, how much money did you spend on print and catalogs and books?
I would say do you ever get a chance to go to any of the hard rock parties?
I don't think I actually ever made any of those parties, but I heard about them. I don't think I actually ever went to one.
Yeah, so we would make like hand make all these things to go on the center. So when it closed down, everybody would steal, at least take it. We didn't have to clean up anything. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's funny because I'll be talking to so many people, and someone brings something like that. Yeah, I had when I did the Maverick, and nobody had really rims for it. So this young kid that came out to check fit them, and he was talking about, I had to get back for traffic, and then there was a couple of the Hot Wheels, and he looked at that and he goes, "What do you guys got to do with that?" And I go, "I was part of Wings." I think for an hour later, he was still talking to me. It just brought up. It's just like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I get it every place I go, and I still can't believe people talk about it.
Awesome. It's great.
Thank you, Billy, for being here today. This has been an awesome interview. We appreciate it. How do people find out more about you and your company? What's the website or phone number anything you want to share?
Just airdesignusa.com.
Airdesignusa.com. Check them out. Car, truck, SUV. If you want to get that black label package, if you have a Mustang, everything. Jeep Wrangler, Bronco. Awesome, Billy. Great seeing you again. Always appreciate the energy and the talk.
All right. See you guys at SEMA.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And there you have it, another high-octane episode of the Ride and Style podcast, revved up and ready to go. Your hosts, Jesse Stoddard and Josh Polson, shifted your automotive game into overdrive. If you're hungry for more insights, trends, and game-changing interviews from the automotive restyling universe, don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a glowing review. We'd also love for you to share this podcast with your gearheads, installers, and auto lovers network. Because remember, knowledge is power, but shared knowledge turbocharges the whole industry. For more expert resources to supercharge your business, cruise on over to autostylemarketing.com, your one-stop shop for everything automotive marketing. Until next time, keep those wheels spinning and your passion ignited. Thank you for riding in style with us. See you on the next lap.